Alright, what's up guys? Thomas here, and in this video we're going to be getting into 3 different YouTuber setups for those of you who are using smartphones. And we're going to be going from beginner to pro, so increasing in price and complexity in the setup. And we're going to be starting with the absolute most basic. Today we're going to be using the iPhone 12 Pro as our smartphone, although in theory these setups are going to work with any smartphone that you have as long as it works with a mic. Alright, with that said, let's get into it. The first setup is going to be using the iPhone, natural light, and a tripod. So this first setup is as simple as it looks. We've basically got a window as our source of natural light. We've got our iPhone on a simple iPhone tripod, and we've gone completely basic and we've just put it on a stool. And this is our shot. A couple of details I'm going to adjust now. I'm not quite centered, so I just want to put myself in the center of the frame. And also there's a little chair there that I'm going to move right now. This would be a beginner iPhone YouTuber setup. So let me run a little demo here and give this a test as to what this would look like. No microphone, we're gonna cut to the phone now. Hey, what's up guys? Thomas Alex Norman here, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. In this video, we're gonna be talking about the difference between... Alright, I think that looked actually pretty good. If you've just got your smartphone or iPhone with you and that's the only kit you have, go and grab yourself one of these little tripods, or even just rest it on some pillows or books or whatever, and you can make your first video like that. Just make sure you've got a more or less a clean frame. Find an area of your house where you have not too much crazy stuff or mess going on in the background, and you've got a window in front of you. The iPhone isn't too low or too high, you've just got your kind of basic framing sorted out, not too much headroom above your head, and then you are sorted and you can go ahead and make that first video. Let's now talk about the limitations of this one. Obviously, the audio isn't the best. When I was using the in-phone camera audio, suddenly I bet the room sounded quite a lot more echoey. My voice maybe didn't sound that kind of quality or clear. So that is the main limitation of this setup. The other limitation is obviously you're limited to always being in front of a window. What if the only window you have in your home is the worst looking part of your room there? Or maybe you want to shoot on a very cloudy day when there's not too much light, or maybe a sunny day where there's too much light. These can be very annoying limitations, and that's what we're going to be getting on overcoming in the intermediate setup. All right, not bad. If you had that beginner setup for your first video, awesome. Now we're going to be getting into the intermediate setup. So that's going to be using, again, the iPhone 12 Pro, as well as a microphone and a light. Now, you can go ahead and buy microphones, lights, and tripods individually, do your research, trying to get the best of each part, or you can use a really cool kit that has come up fairly recently called the GorillaPod Mobile Vlogging Kit. Now, this video is not sponsored by Joby. They did send this product to me, and I genuinely thought it was really cool and a really innovative solution to making iPhone videos. So let's just unbox this and see how we can get it set up. First thing, we have the base. Secondly, we have the head. This arm would screw in here. The next arm would screw in here. Like a little standing robot man. Now what we would do is put in first the phone, tighten this up so that's not escaping anywhere. Looking great. The important parts are a microphone. Now this is the Wavo Mobile by Joby. So it's a microphone. It actually looks like this. It's pretty small and nifty. Here's a windshield. This is only for using it in windy or outdoors conditions, so I'm not actually going to use that here. Here's the mount. You just would clip this. Clip it in, there you go. Very solid hold though, and that was pretty satisfying sound. Nothing in here, it's surprisingly soft and furry on the inside. And we're gonna put the microphone into this little compartment, screw it on so that's not going anywhere. All right, next up we have the cable to get the sound going straight into the iPhone. So now that's our sound setup, the next thing is lighting. This is the BMO Mini, also by Joby obviously, and it's gonna enable you to get really nice, soft, diffused lighting on your face. Okay, awesome. So that is actually our setup. Now, This extra arm can be used to put the microphone on this if you would want it to be slightly more angled towards you or from under or something like this. I think I actually prefer having the microphone on top of the phone right there, and we can even take this off and then we can have this light pointing as desired. So let's go and test this out. All right, now we have the intermediate setup. I'm gonna start recording now. And what we're gonna do is another test. We're gonna do another fake little YouTube intro. And this time you're gonna hear the difference between this microphone that we're gonna be using, Joby's Wavo microphone, versus just the beginner example with just the iPhone audio. Hey, what's up guys? Thomas Alex Norman here, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. All right, what's up guys? Thomas Alex Norman here, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. All right, now you know the microphone, we're also gonna make use of this light here. So obviously we're in front of a natural source of light, so this isn't gonna do that much right now, but it can add a little bit of pop to the face. So let's turn this on, boom. All right, so that just looks a little bit more full in my opinion. It just looks a little bit more kind of bright, maybe a bit warmer, more kind of inviting. And it's pretty insane how this light is right in front of my face. It's pointing right at me, only with the small diffuser on it, and it looks nice and soft from what I can see. It doesn't look like a crazy harsh light pointing at me, which is pretty awesome. So you know the power of this setup now. It does look and sound a little bit better than the beginner setup. But the real power of this setup comes when we do this, and we pick it up and we take it away from this location. So cut to the phone, and here we are. We can now walk around and have a really solid light on my face at all times. It's almost as if we've got a window in front of us the whole time whilst we're recording, and it's kind of like we've got some pretty decent audio. So I can be really far away from this window here, actually pointing completely in the opposite, and this light is going to keep me well lit at all times. So that to me looks pretty solid the whole time. I can now do this YouTube intro again from here. All right, what's up guys? Thomas Alex Norman here, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Here we've got this new vlogging setup, and we're walking around and we're looking pretty decent the whole time. All right, I hope you like that intermediate setup. It does step up the production quality quite a lot, give a bit of extra flexibility, and allows you to basically film in different situations and locations, which is awesome. All right, now it's time for the Pro setup. So with this, again, we're gonna be using the iPhone 12 Pro, and we're also gonna be making use of some of the lighting I actually have in the studio. So iPhone 12 Pro, studio lighting, or some actual kind of purpose-built lights that will be on their stands that will be a bit separate, and also a lapel mic. So with this, we're going to be able to control the lights, and you're actually going to see how powerful lighting is and how much of a difference it really makes when trying to create something that looks very cinematic. The lapel mic, much like this one, is just going to add that pro touch in the audio, and especially if you're in a studio like this where there's no soundproofing or anything and it's very kind of reverby, it's going to cut a lot of that reverb out and give a much crisper, cleaner sounding audio. We're going to set up the studio right now as if it was my proper YouTube video, the main shot I've been using to talk for this video, and we're gonna basically swap in the iPhone for my camera, and that is gonna be the Pro setup. So let's crack into it. There we go. Okay, that's pretty much it. This is pretty much my YouTube setup. It should look pretty similar to the intro shot that I was just doing. So we're basically gonna be swapping out this iPhone with this camera using a special lapel mic and seeing how this works as the Pro setup. All right, so I think there we have it. That actually looks pretty decent, pretty similar to the other shot. Light coming on the face here, a little bit of teal in the background, a little bit of highlights coming from this light here. The phone is pretty far away right there, and even with the Joby mic, is not going to reach that far. It needs to be pretty close to you to work. So what is the solution? It is a lapel mic for the iPhone. So let's get that set up right now. This is the lapel mic that I have. It is pretty long. It comes at I think it's like 3 meters or something crazy. So this is gonna be absolutely fine. It's gonna reach me no problem. So what we're gonna do is put this right here, plug it in, and we're basically just gonna feed this through so it goes underneath the desk there. And that is then gonna go up under my t-shirt and here. So let's do that. Boom. All right, we've got everything set up. I'm excited. Now let's look at the lighting. Let's turn off all of the lights and turn on each one separately to show you exactly what it does. All right, what's up guys? Thomas Alex Norman here and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. In this video, we're going to be learning about why using an iPhone is actually sick and can be a game changer for all the beginners out there, getting started with natural lighting, then moving on to some basic sound and lighting options, moving on to a more pro setup where we've got lights on stands of different colors and stuff like this that we can position to get more or less cinematic lighting, and then just replacing our camera with our iPhone. All right guys, so there you go. Those are the 3 YouTuber setups going from beginner to pro. Yes, I'm still filming this on the iPhone, and just as another little test, now let's cut back to the A7S III. All right, now you might be thinking, all right, Thomas, nice one. You've given me 3 really cool setups to use when I'm shooting on my iPhone, but when I turn the camera on, I freeze up, I go super awkward, and I don't know what to say, I'm not myself, and I don't feel confident at all when actually talking to the camera. Well, if that's you, then I have a pretty cool solution that's going to help you out. 2 things. Number 1 is a talking to camera cheat sheet. It's a 1-pager that you can look at, PDF that you can print out, and you're going to see a lot of different tips there that you can refer to that are going to help you talk to camera. The link to that is free in the description below. However, if you'd really like to transform and you'd really like to see yourself improving day by day, week by week, as you practice talking to camera and really get a before and after where you're like, wow, I can't believe I used to talk like that, then I would recommend my program, Talking to Camera Pro. The format of this program is based on a 30-day challenge, where every day for 30 days, you're gonna be taking 10 to 20 minutes out of your day to watch the quick daily module and then apply those lessons and practice talking to camera for 5 to 10 minutes every day. There's also a super supportive Facebook group where you can post your videos if you'd like and get feedback, constructive comments, and motivation as part of an awesome creative community. So if that sounds good to you, then the links are in the description. All right guys, until next time, keep filming, bye-bye.